Wow, that's quite the list. Let's dive into some of these fascinating topics. Quantum mechanics and relativity. Richard Feynman and Albert Einstein are towering figures in physics. Feynman's lectures on quantum mechanics introduced concepts like quantum tunneling and quantum entanglement, which challenge our classical understanding of particles and waves. Quantum tunneling allows particles to pass through barriers, while quantum entanglement links particles across vast distances instantaneously. Einstein's theories of general and special relativity revolutionized our understanding of space, time, and gravity. The quest to unify these theories with quantum mechanics has led to quantum field theory and string theory, which seek to reconcile the quantum world with the curvature of spacetime. Poincaré's conjectures and birthday paradox. The birthday paradox is a probability theory problem that shows how surprisingly high the chance is that two people in a group share the same birthday. This concept is related to hash functions in computer science, where collisions, two inputs producing the same output, are analogous to shared birthdays. Birthday attacks exploit these collisions to break cryptographic systems. Galactic phenomena. Galactic spirals, nebulae, and dying stars paint a vivid picture of the cosmos. Red dwarfs and brown dwarfs are small, cool stars, while red giants and white dwarfs represent later stages in stellar evolution. Novas and supernovas are explosive events marking the death of stars. Comets and moons. Comets are icy bodies that develop glowing comas and tails when they approach the sun. They are remnants from the solar system's formation. Moons are natural satellites orbiting planets with diverse compositions and histories. Fermi's paradox and Fermilab. Fermi's paradox questions why, given the vastness of the universe, we haven't encountered extraterrestrial life. Enrico Fermi also lends his name to Fermi bubbles, massive structures emanating from the Milky Way's center. Fermilab in Illinois is a hub for particle physics research and is home to a herd of bison. Particle physics and CERN. Particle colliders like those at CERN in Geneva, including the Large Hadron Collider (LHC), smash particles together to explore fundamental forces. The discovery of the Higgs boson confirmed the existence of the Higgs field, which gives particles mass. Mathematical spaces. Hilbert spaces and Banach spaces are fundamental in functional analysis, with applications in quantum mechanics and other fields. Von Neumann entropy measures the uncertainty in quantum states, while Poincaré's conjecture and Gödel's incompleteness theorems have profound implications in mathematics and logic. Miscellaneous. Stop signs and traffic lights have evolved to improve road safety. Portland, Maine, Portland, Connecticut, and Portland, Oregon each have unique histories and cultures. Arachnology studies spiders and related creatures like scorpions and vinegaroons. Vinegar chemistry involves acetic acid, with variations like apple cider and red wine vinegar. Teeth and dentistry cover everything from molars to Mueller numbers in mathematics. Corn and maize have rich agricultural histories, while New World monkeys offer insights into primate evolution. Australopithecus fossils, including Lucy, provide clues about human ancestry. Architecture spans styles and innovations, with firms like Crab Architects pushing boundaries. Chalk and wood have distinct chemical and physical properties, influencing their uses and decay processes. Nitrogen and hydrogen are fundamental elements in chemistry. Mastodons and other prehistoric creatures captivate our imagination, with legends like the Cyclops possibly inspired by ancient elephant skulls. Feel free to ask more about Hydrogen and nitrogen interactions. Hydrogen and nitrogen are both essential elements in chemistry and biology. When they interact, they form compounds like ammonia, NH3, which is crucial for fertilizers and many industrial processes. Hydrogen bonds involving hydrogen and nitrogen play a significant role in the structure of DNA and proteins. Prehistoric primates. Dinopithecus, an extinct genus of large baboon-like primates from the Pliocene epoch. Mesopithecus, a genus of Old World monkeys from the Miocene epoch known for their arboreal lifestyle. Opidium, small, early primates from the Oligocene epoch often found in Egypt's Fayum deposits. Australopithecus, early hominins including the famous Lucy that lived around 4 to 2 million years ago. Homo naledi, a recently discovered species with a mix of primitive and modern traits found in South Africa. Denisovans, an extinct species or subspecies of archaic humans known from a few fossils and their genetic legacy in modern humans. Homo erectus, one of the longest living human species known for their use of tools and fire. Neanderthals, close relatives of modern humans known for their robust build and adaptation to cold climates. Hadamard matrices and tensors. Hadamard matrices are square matrices whose entries are either +1 or -1 and whose rows are mutually orthogonal. They are used in error correction, signal processing, and cryptography. Hadamard functions help in designing secure cryptographic systems by ensuring properties like nonlinearity and resistance to differential attacks. SMUF attacks and DDoS attacks. A SMUF attack is a type of DDoS, distributed denial of service, attack where an attacker sends ICMP echo requests, pings, to a network's broadcast address with a spoof source IP address. This causes all devices on the network to respond to the spoofed address, overwhelming the target with traffic. DDoS attacks in general aim to make a network or service unavailable by flooding it with traffic from multiple sources. Fractals and the Koch snowflake. The Koch snowflake is a classic fractal that starts with an equilateral triangle. Each side is divided into 3 segments, and a smaller equilateral triangle is added to the middle segment, creating a star-like pattern. This process is repeated infinitely, resulting in a shape with an infinite perimeter but a finite area. Mathematics of puzzles. Jigsaw puzzles involve spatial reasoning and pattern recognition. Mathematically, they can be analyzed using graph theory, where each piece is a node and connections between pieces are edges. Logic puzzles often involve finding patterns or commonalities, similar to problems in mathematical linguistics, where one might look for common letters or words in sequences. Cryptography and Alan Turing. Cryptography involves techniques for secure communication. Alan Turing played a crucial role during World War II by developing the bomb machine, which helped decrypt the Enigma code used by the Germans. His work laid the foundation for modern computer science and cryptography. Egyptian history from 1900 onward. Egypt's modern history includes the end of British colonial rule, the establishment of the Republic in 1953, and significant events like the Suez Crisis in 1956. The country has seen various political changes, including the Arab Spring in 2011, which led to the resignation of President Hosni Mubarak. Feel free to ask more about any of these topics. Hadamard matrices and cryptography. Hadamard matrices are square matrices with entries of +1 or -1, where the rows are mutually orthogonal. This means that the dot product of any 2 different rows is 0. These matrices are used in various fields, including cryptography, due to their properties of orthogonality and balance. In cryptography, Hadamard matrices can be used to construct error-correcting codes and spread spectrum communication systems. They are also employed in secret sharing schemes, where a secret is divided into parts, giving each participant its own unique part. The Hadamard transform is another application which is used in image processing and data compression. SMUF attacks and DDoS attacks. A SMUF attack is a type of DDoS, distributed denial of service, attack that exploits the Internet Control Message Protocol, ICMP. The attacker sends ICMP echo requests, pings, to a network's broadcast address with a spoof source IP address. This causes all devices on the network to respond to the spoofed address, overwhelming the target with traffic. DDoS attacks aim to make a network or service unavailable by flooding it with traffic from multiple sources. These attacks can be mitigated by using firewalls, intrusion detection systems, and by disabling IP broadcasting on network routers. Birthday attacks exploit the mathematics behind the birthday paradox to find collisions in hash functions. In cryptography, this means finding two different inputs that produce the same hash value, which can compromise the security of cryptographic systems. SQL injection. SQL injection is a web security vulnerability that allows an attacker to interfere with the queries an application makes to its database. This can allow the attacker to view, modify, or delete data that they should not have access to. SQL injection works by inserting or injecting malicious SQL code into a query. For example, an attacker might enter =1 into a login form, which could trick the database into granting access without a valid username and password. Preventing SQL injection involves using prepared statements, parameterized queries, and input validation. Fluid mechanics and fluid dynamics. Fluid mechanics is the study of fluids, liquids, and gases, and the forces on them. Fluid dynamics is a subdiscipline of fluid mechanics that deals with the movement of fluids. It has applications in engineering, meteorology, oceanography, and more. Navier-Stokes equations. The Navier-Stokes equations are a set of partial differential equations that describe the motion of viscous fluid substances. They are derived from the principles of conservation of mass, momentum, and energy. These equations are fundamental in fluid dynamics and have applications in designing aircraft, predicting weather, studying ocean currents, and more. The equations can be written as \rho\left, \frac, \partial\math for u, a \partial t plus \math, u \nabla \math, u \right, equals --nabla p plus \mu \nabla caret 2 \math, u plus \math of. Where \rho is the fluid density, \math u is the velocity field, p is the pressure field, \mu is the dynamic viscosity, \math fu represents external forces. These equations are notoriously difficult to solve, and one of the Millennium Prize problems is to prove or disprove the existence and smoothness of solutions to the Navier-Stokes equations in 3 dimensions. C-star algebra, Banach algebra, and Banach spaces. Banach spaces are complete normed vector spaces, meaning they are spaces where every Cauchy sequence converges within the space. Banach algebras are Banach spaces equipped with a compatible algebra structure, allowing for the multiplication of elements. These algebras are fundamental in functional analysis and have applications in various areas of mathematics and physics. Rindler coordinates and Terrell rotations. Rindler coordinates are used in special relativity to describe the viewpoint of a uniformly accelerating observer. They are particularly useful for understanding phenomena in a non-inertial reference frame, such as the effects of acceleration in flat spacetime. Terrell rotations refer to the visual distortion of objects moving at relativistic speeds. Due to the finite speed of light, an object moving close to the speed of light appears rotated and contracted, a phenomenon first described by Roger Penrose and later by James Terrell. Taylor series and Taylor algebras. A Taylor series is an infinite sum of terms calculated from the values of a function's derivatives at a single point. It provides a powerful tool for approximating functions and solving differential equations. Taylor algebras extend the concept of Taylor series to algebraic structures, allowing for the manipulation and analysis of functions within an algebraic framework. Riemann zeta function and its zeros. The Riemann zeta function is a complex function that plays a crucial role in number theory and the distribution of prime numbers. Its zeros, particularly those on the critical line with real part 1/2, are central to the famous Riemann hypothesis. Mathematical applications and facts about 37. The number 37 is a prime number with several interesting properties. It is the 12th prime number and the third isolated prime. It forms a centered hexagonal number and a star number. The sum of the squares of the first 37 primes is divisible by 37. Historical and cultural connections to 37. February 6th. This date is associated with various historical events and figures, but specific connections to the number 37 are less common. Richard Nixon, he was the 37th President of the United States. Amelia Earhart, she was 37 years old when she disappeared. The Hobbit, published in 1937. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Disney's first full-length animated feature, released in 1937. The Wizard of Oz and L. Frank Baum. L. Frank Baum authored The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, published in 1900. The story has inspired numerous adaptations, including the famous 1939 film, The King in Yellow Coming to Oz. This is a creative and speculative crossover idea, blending the eerie world of Robert W. Chambers' The King in Yellow with the whimsical land of Oz. It would be an intriguing mix of horror and fantasy, exploring how the mysterious and malevolent forces from The King in Yellow might interact with the characters and settings of Oz. Miscellaneous. Your mention of Ron Swanson and the eclectic list of items like helicopter mailbox and weed whacker adds a humorous touch. If you have any specific questions or need more details on any topic, feel free to ask. That's quite the eclectic mix. Let's have some fun with it. Flying lawnmower. Imagine a lawnmower that could take to the skies, trimming treetops and hedges with ease. While it sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, there are actually remote-controlled flying lawnmowers used in demonstrations and air shows. Toaster. The humble toaster is a staple in many kitchens, turning bread into delicious toast. Did you know the first electric toaster was invented in 1893 by Crompton and Company in Chelmsford, Essex? Mustache. Mustaches have been a symbol of style and personality throughout history. From the handlebar to the pencil thin, each style has its own charm. Famous mustache wearers include Salvador Dali and Tom Selleck. Chimpanzee. Chimpanzees are our closest living relatives, sharing about 98% of our DNA. They are incredibly intelligent, using tools and displaying complex social behaviors. Wildebeest. Wildebeests, also known as gnus, are famous for their massive migrations across the African savanna. These migrations are one of the most spectacular wildlife events on Earth. Elk. Elk are majestic creatures found in North America and parts of Asia. They are known for their impressive antlers, which can grow up to 4 feet long. Tree. Trees are vital to our ecosystem, providing oxygen, shelter, and food. The oldest known tree is a bristlecone pine named Methuselah, which is over 4,800 years old. Light pole. Light poles illuminate our streets and pathways, making our cities safer at night. They come in various designs, from simple utility poles to ornate street lamps. Food. Food is a universal language of love and culture. From the rich flavors of Italian pasta to the spicy kick of Indian curry, every cuisine tells a story. What's your favorite dish? Feel free to Wow, that's quite a list. Let's dive into some of these fascinating topics. Chemistry and molecular gastronomy. Molecular gastronomy is a scientific discipline that explores the physical and chemical transformations of ingredients during cooking. It was established by Hervé This and Nicholas Curti in 1988. This field combines elements of chemistry, physics, and biology to create innovative culinary techniques. For example, spherification, where liquids are shaped into spheres, and the use of liquid nitrogen to create unique textures. Molecular biophysics. Molecular biophysics applies the principles of physics to understand biological systems at a molecular level. It has been crucial in unraveling the structure of DNA and proteins. Biophysicists study how molecules like hormones move within cells and how cells communicate. They use advanced imaging techniques and computer modeling to visualize and manipulate molecular structures. Sauropods. Sauropods were some of the largest dinosaurs to ever roam the Earth. Here are a few notable ones. Apatosaurus, known for its massive body and long whip-like tail. Diplodocus had a long neck and tail, and its teeth were adapted for stripping leaves from trees. Argentinosaurus, one of the largest known dinosaurs, estimated to weigh up to 100 tons. Giraffatitan, known for its long neck, similar to a giraffe, and was originally classified as a species of Brachiosaurus. Sauroposeidon, possibly taller and heavier than Giraffatitan. Brachiosaurus had a long neck and relatively short tail, allowing it to reach high foliage. Voronoi diagrams. Voronoi diagrams are mathematical structures that partition a plane into regions based on the distance to a specific set of points. These patterns can be seen in nature, such as the wings of dragonflies, the patterns on giraffes, and the structure of bones and sponges. Trains of the 20th century. Nazi and Soviet trains. Both regimes used trains extensively for transportation, including for forced labor and deportations. French and English trains. The French had luxury trains like the Blue Train, while the English had the Golden Arrow. Orient Express, a luxury train service that operated from 1883 to 2009, connecting Paris to Istanbul. Jet propulsion. Jet propulsion works by expelling a high-speed jet of gas to generate thrust, based on Newton's third law of motion. This principle is used in both jet engines and rocket engines. The wheel. The wheel was invented around 3500 BCE in Mesopotamia. It wasn't used in the Americas west of the Andes due to the lack of large domesticated animals to pull wheeled vehicles. Quipu. Quipu or quipu were recording devices used by the Inca civilization, consisting of colored, spun, and plied thread or strings from llama or alpaca hair or cotton cords. Parakeets and other birds. Parakeets can get along with cockatiels, but it's important to monitor their interactions. Congo African greys are more solitary and may not mix well with other birds. Exotic pets. Burmese pythons can be kept as pets but require significant care. Reticulated pythons, also kept as pets but can grow very large. Anacondas and caimans, generally not recommended as pets due to their size and potential danger. Voronoi patterns in nature. Voronoi patterns can be seen in various natural formations, such as the cracks in dried mud, the structure of wood, and the patterns on animal skins. Peruvian trolls. A whimsical idea. Peruvian trolls might be imagined as creatures living in the Andes, enjoying the local potatoes and perhaps hiding in the shadows of ancient ruins. Feel free to ask more about any of these topics or anything else that piques your interest. You've got a lot of fascinating topics here. Let's dive into each one. Taylor series and Taylor algebras. Taylor series. A Taylor series is an infinite sum of terms calculated from the values of a function's derivatives at a single point. For a function f(x), the Taylor series centered at x equals a is given by f égale sum n égale 0 infti frac f n a n x a n. If a equals 0, it's called a Maclaurin series. Taylor algebras. These are algebraic structures that generalize the concept of Taylor series to more abstract settings, often used in the study of differential equations and functional analysis. Real numbers and related concepts. Real numbers. These include all the numbers on the number line, encompassing both rational numbers like 1/2 and -3 and irrational numbers like \sqrt2 and \pi. They are fundamental in calculus and analysis. Patricians and Blanche functions. It seems like there might be a typo or confusion here. If you meant partitions and Baire functions, partitions refer to ways of dividing a set into distinct subsets, and Baire functions are a class of functions important in topology and real analysis. Number systems, from rationals to octonions. Number tree. This hierarchy includes rational numbers, numbers that can be expressed as a fraction of two integers. Real numbers, all rational and irrational numbers. Complex numbers, numbers of the form a plus bi, where I is the imaginary unit. Quaternions, extend complex numbers to 4 dimensions represented as a plus bi plus cj plus dk. Octonions, extend quaternions to 8 dimensions used in advanced mathematical physics. Themes in astronomy and cosmology. Themes in astronomy and cosmology often revolve around understanding the universe's origins, structure, and evolution. Key topics include the Big Bang, dark matter, dark energy, and the life cycles of stars. Applications to medicine. While themes from astronomy and cosmology don't directly apply to medicine, the mathematical and computational techniques developed in these fields can be useful in medical imaging and data analysis. Bones in architecture. Using bones in architecture is an intriguing idea. Historically, animal bones have been used in construction for their strength and durability. However, using human bones would raise ethical and health concerns. Bones can carry diseases, so using them without proper treatment could pose health risks. Feel free to ask Dark matter and dark energy. Dark matter. This mysterious substance makes up about 27% of the universe. It doesn't emit, absorb, or reflect light, making it invisible and detectable only through its gravitational effects. Dark matter acts like a cosmic glue, holding galaxies together and influencing their rotation. Dark energy. Comprising about 68% of the universe, dark energy is responsible for the accelerated expansion of the universe. It acts as a repulsive force, counteracting gravity and pushing galaxies apart. Sauropods and obscure species. Diplodocus. Known for its long neck and tail, Diplodocus was a late Jurassic sauropod. It had a whip-like tail and peg-like teeth suited for stripping leaves. Argentinosaurus. One of the largest known dinosaurs, this titanosaur from the late Cretaceous of Argentina could reach lengths of up to 100 feet and weigh around 100 tons. Sauroposeidon. This early Cretaceous sauropod had extremely long neck vertebrae, suggesting it could reach heights of up to 60 feet, making it one of the tallest dinosaurs. Giraffatitan. Originally thought to be a species of Brachiosaurus, Giraffatitan lived in the late Jurassic and had a long neck and forelimbs, giving it a giraffe-like appearance. Ultrasaurus. Initially thought to be one of the largest dinosaurs, Ultrasaurus was later found to be a chimera of different species. The name now refers to a smaller sauropod from South Korea. Titanosaurs. This diverse group of sauropods includes some of the largest land animals ever. Notable titanosaurs include Dreadnoughtus and Patagodoton. Prehistoric whales. Livyatan melvillei, a massive predatory whale from the Miocene epoch, known for its large teeth and powerful bite. Basilosaurus, an early whale from the Eocene epoch with a long serpentine body and vestigial hind limbs. Pakicetus. One of the earliest whales, Pakicetus lived in the Eocene and had features of both land mammals and aquatic animals. Ambulocetus. Known as the walking whale, this Eocene whale had limbs capable of supporting its weight on land and swimming in water. Modern whales and dolphins. Bowhead whales. Known for their massive heads and baleen plates, bowhead whales are adapted to life in Arctic waters. Gray whales. These baleen whales undertake long migrations between feeding and breeding grounds. Right whales. Named for being the right whales to hunt, they are slow swimmers with large heads and baleen plates. Minke whales. The smallest of the baleen whales, minke whales are known for their agility and curiosity. Fin whales. The second largest whale species, fin whales are fast swimmers and have a distinctive ridge along their back. Blue whales. The largest animals ever to have lived, blue whales can reach lengths of up to 100 feet and weigh as much as 200 tons. Humpback whales. Known for their acrobatic breaches and complex songs, humpback whales are found in oceans worldwide. Sperm whales. The largest toothed whales, sperm whales have large heads filled with spermaceti, a waxy substance once used in candles. Pilot whales. Social and intelligent pilot whales are known for their strong family bonds and deep diving abilities. Dolphins and porpoises. These intelligent marine mammals are known for their playful behavior and complex social structures. Species include the bottlenose dolphin, Pacific white-sided dolphin, and harbor porpoise. Virginia Beach and whale watching. Virginia Beach is a popular spot for whale watching, especially during the winter months when humpback whales migrate along the coast. Visitors may also see dolphins, pilot whales, and occasionally other species. False gharial. The false gharial, or Tomastoma, is a type of crocodile native to Southeast Asia. Despite its name, it is not closely related to the true gharial. Alligator Adventure. Located in North Myrtle Beach, Alligator Adventure is a reptile park featuring a variety of alligators, crocodiles, and other reptiles. It's a great place to learn about these fascinating creatures. The burning bush. The burning bush from the biblical story of Moses is often interpreted as a miraculous event. Some theories suggest it could have been a natural phenomenon, such as a plant emitting flammable gases. Hardee's and Carl's Jr. Hardee's and Carl's Jr. are two brands owned by the same parent company, CKE Restaurants. They share similar menus but operate under different names in different regions. Literary differences. Haruki Murakami, known for his surreal and often melancholic narratives, blending reality with fantasy. David Foster Wallace, famous for his complex footnote-laden prose and deep explorations of contemporary life. Cormac McCarthy, renowned for his sparse, poetic style and dark, often violent themes. Stephen King, master of horror and suspense with a focus on character-driven stories. George R.R. Martin, known for his intricate plots and morally complex characters in the A Song of Ice and Fire series. Brandon Sanderson, celebrated for his detailed world-building and innovative magic systems. Patrick Rothfuss, known for his lyrical prose and the rich, immersive world of The Kingkiller Chronicle. Jane Yolen writes across genres, often blending folklore and fantasy. Donna Jo Napoli, known for her retellings of classic myths and fairy tales. Gail Carson Levine, famous for her humorous and empowering fairy tale retellings. Diana Wynne Jones, renowned for her imaginative and whimsical fantasy novels. Anne McCaffrey, best known for her Dragon Riders of Pern series, blending science fiction and fantasy. Ursula K. Le Guin, celebrated for her thoughtful and philosophical science fiction and fantasy works. If you have more questions or want to explore another topic, feel free to ask. Ursula K. Le Guin, Tanith Lee, Donna Jo Napoli and McCaffrey, and Diana Wynne Jones. Ursula K. Le Guin. Themes explores complex social, political, and philosophical issues. Known for her deep world-building and exploration of gender, identity, and power. Style, poetic and thoughtful, often blending science fiction and fantasy. Notable works, The Left Hand of Darkness, A Wizard of Earthsea. Tanith Lee. Themes, dark fantasy, horror, and science fiction. Often delves into themes of transformation, identity, and the supernatural. Style, rich Gothic and lyrical prose. Notable works, The Birthgrave, Tales from the Flat Earth. Donna Jo Napoli. Themes, retellings of classic myths and fairy tales, often with a focus on language and cultural context. Style, accessible and engaging, suitable for younger audiences. Notable works, Zell, Bound. Anne McCaffrey. Themes, science fiction and fantasy, often focusing on human and dragon relationships, telepathy, and space exploration. Style, straightforward and immersive, with a strong emphasis on character development. Notable works, Dragon Riders of Pern series. Diana Wynne Jones. Themes, fantasy with a whimsical and imaginative twist. Often explores themes of magic, family, and identity. Style, humorous and inventive, with a knack for creating memorable characters. Notable works, Howl's Moving Castle, Chrestomanci series. Cormac McCarthy, David Foster Wallace, and Haruki Murakami. Cormac McCarthy. Themes, dark, often violent explorations of human nature, morality, and the American frontier. Style, sparse, poetic prose with a focus on dialogue and vivid descriptions. Notable works, Blood Meridian, The Road. David Foster Wallace. Themes, postmodern explorations of contemporary life, mental health, and the human condition. Style, complex footnote-laden prose with a mix of humor and deep philosophical insights. Notable works, Infinite Jest, Consider the Lobster. Haruki Murakami. Themes, surreal and often melancholic narratives blending reality with fantasy. Explores themes of loneliness, identity, and the supernatural. Style, simple yet evocative prose, often incorporating magical realism. Notable works, Norwegian Wood, Kafka on the Shore. Comparison and Contrast. Le Guin, Lee, Napoli, McCaffrey, and Jones. Le Guin and Lee both delve into deep philosophical and social themes, but Le Guin's work is more grounded in speculative fiction, while Lee's is more gothic and dark. Napoli focuses on retelling myths and fairy tales with a linguistic twist, making her work more accessible to younger readers compared to the more mature themes of Le Guin and Lee. McCaffrey blends science fiction and fantasy, focusing on human-dragon relationships, which is distinct from the purely fantasy realms of Jones and the speculative fiction of Le Guin. Jones brings a whimsical and humorous touch to her fantasy worlds, contrasting with the more serious tones of Le Guin and Lee. McCarthy, Wallace, and Murakami. McCarthy's work is characterized by its dark, violent themes and sparse prose, focusing on the American frontier and human nature. Wallace's postmodern style is complex and philosophical, often addressing contemporary issues with humor and depth. Murakami blends reality with fantasy in a surreal, melancholic style, exploring themes of loneliness and the supernatural. While McCarthy's prose is sparse and poetic, Wallace's is dense and intricate, and Murakami's is simple yet evocative. If you have more questions, jet propulsion, math, physics, and chemistry. Jet propulsion. Jet propulsion relies on Newton's third law of motion. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. In rockets, this principle is applied by expelling mass, propellant, at high speed to produce thrust. Math and physics. Rocket equation. The Tsiolkovsky rocket equation describes the motion of vehicles that follow the principle of conservation of momentum. Delta V equals V underscore E backslash ln backslash left backslash frac m underscore 0 E backslash right. Where delta V is the change in velocity, V underscore E is the effective exhaust velocity, m underscore 0 is the initial mass, and m underscore F is the final mass. Thrust T is calculated as T equals dot m V underscore E, where dot mo is the mass flow rate of the expelled propellant. Chemistry. Propellants. Chemical reactions in propellants, solid or liquid, produce high-pressure gases expelled through a nozzle to generate thrust. Common propellants include liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. Fiction of Brandon Sanderson, Patrick Rothfuss, and George R.R. Martin. Brandon Sanderson. Themes: detailed world-building, innovative magic systems, and epic fantasy. Style: clear, structured prose with a focus on plot and action. Notable works: Mistborn series, The Stormlight Archive. Patrick Rothfuss. Themes: deep character development, lyrical prose, and a focus on storytelling. Style: rich, poetic language with a slower narrative pace. Notable works: The Kingkiller Chronicle. George R.R. Martin. Themes: complex characters, political intrigue, and morally ambiguous narratives. Style: detailed, immersive prose with multiple viewpoints. Notable works: A Song of Ice and Fire. Obscure math facts and prime numbers. Number 37. Connection to primes. 37 is a prime number and has interesting properties in number theory. For example, the sum of the first three primes, 2, 3, and 5, is 10, and 37 is the 10th prime number. Prime numbers. Properties. Primes are numbers greater than 1 that have no divisors other than 1 and themselves. They are the building blocks of all natural numbers. Patterns. Except for 2 and 5, all primes end in 1, 3, 7, or 9. Twin primes are pairs of primes that differ by 2, e.g., 11 and 13. Squares and odd numbers. Difference of squares. The difference between consecutive squares increases by 2 each time, e.g., 3 squared 2 squared equals 5, 4 squared 3 squared equals 7. This is because n plus 1, 2, n2 égale 2 n plus 1, which is always an odd number. Mulberry bushes. Biology and habitats. Species Mulberry Morus spp. is found in various climates, from tropical to temperate zones. Habitat. They thrive in well-drained soils and can tolerate drought conditions. Photosynthesis. Type. Mulberry trees engage in C3 photosynthesis, the most common form of photosynthesis in plants. Huckleberries in Montana. Common species. Vaccinium membranaceum, the most common huckleberry species in Montana, thriving in cool coniferous forests. Habitat. They grow well in damp, acidic soils and are often found in burn scars and forested areas. If you have more questions or want to explore another topic, feel free to ask. Are viruses alive? The debate over whether viruses are alive centers on their unique characteristics. Viruses are composed of genetic material, DNA or RNA, encased in a protein coat and sometimes a lipid envelope. They cannot replicate independently and must hijack a host cell's machinery to reproduce. Arguments for viruses being alive. Replication and evolution. Viruses can replicate and evolve, traits associated with living organisms. Complexity. Some giant viruses possess genes for proteins involved in metabolism. Arguments against viruses being alive. Lack of metabolism. Viruses do not carry out metabolic processes independently. Dependency on host cells. They cannot reproduce without a host, unlike cellular life forms. Math and piano playing. Circle of fifths. Concept. The circle of fifths is a visual representation of the relationships among the 12 tones of the chromatic scale. Moving clockwise, each note is a perfect fifth above the previous one. Application. It helps in understanding key signatures, chord progressions, and modulations in music. Harmonics and cycloids. Harmonics. Harmonics are integer multiples of a fundamental frequency, creating overtones that enrich the sound of a piano. Cycloids. The motion of a point on a rolling circle cycloid can be related to the waveforms produced by vibrating strings. Linear speed versus rotational/orbital speed. Linear speed, the distance traveled per unit of time along a straight path. Rotational speed, the number of rotations per unit of time, often measured in radians per second. Orbital speed, the speed at which an object travels along its orbital path around another object. Clock the size of a galaxy. Hand speed. The tips of the clock hands would move at different linear speeds depending on their length. The longer the hand, the faster its tip moves to cover the same angular distance. Planetary orbits. Similar to planetary orbits, where outer planets like Jupiter move slower in their orbits compared to inner planets like Mercury, despite covering larger distances. Cooking a turkey properly. Steps. Thawing. Thaw the turkey in the refrigerator. Space-time and speed. Orbital speed versus linear speed. Orbital speed, the speed at which an object travels along its orbital path around another object. It depends on the distance from the central body and the gravitational force. Linear speed, the distance traveled per unit of time along a straight path. For an object in circular motion, linear speed is related to its angular speed and the radius of its path. Relation to space and time. Space-time. In the context of general relativity, space and time are intertwined in a four-dimensional continuum. The curvature of space-time around massive objects affects the motion of planets and their orbital speeds. Singularities, points where gravitational forces cause space-time to become infinitely curved, such as in black holes. These extreme conditions can drastically affect the behavior of objects and their speeds. Prehistoric creatures. Ground sloths, large, slow-moving herbivores that lived in the Americas. They had long claws for reaching vegetation. Mastodons, elephant-like mammals with long, curved tusks and a diet of leaves and branches. They roamed North America during the Pleistocene. Glyptodonts, armored mammals related to armadillos with a large, dome-shaped shell and a tail club for defense. Smilodons, also known as saber-toothed cats, these predators had elongated canine teeth and hunted large herbivores. Cave bears, large bears that lived in Europe during the Pleistocene. They were primarily herbivorous and hibernated in caves. Short-faced bears, massive bears with long legs and a short snout adapted for running and scavenging. Mammoths, woolly relatives of modern elephants, adapted to cold environments with long, curved tusks and a thick coat of fur. Elephants, modern relatives of mammoths and mastodons, known for their intelligence, social behavior, and long trunks. Rhinos, large herbivores with thick skin and one or two horns on their snouts. They are found in Africa and Asia. Prehistoric lions. Steppe lions, also known as Eurasian cave lions, these large predators lived in Europe and Asia during the Pleistocene. Eurasian cave lions. Similar to steppe lions, they were apex predators and often depicted in ancient art. American lions. Larger than modern lions, these predators roamed North America during the Pleistocene. Homotherium, also known as scimitar-toothed cats, these predators had shorter, serrated canines and were adapted to open habitats. Outer planets, Pluto. Physics and chemistry. Composition. Pluto is composed of rock and ice, with a thin atmosphere of nitrogen, methane, and carbon monoxide. Geology. Features include mountains of water ice, plains of nitrogen ice, and possible cryovolcanoes. Human on Pluto. Conditions. Extremely cold temperatures, around -375 degrees Fahrenheit or -225 degrees Celsius, low gravity, and a thin atmosphere. Survival. A human would need a pressurized suit with thermal protection and a supply of oxygen. Without these, they would quickly succumb to the harsh environment. I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that. Sure, let's explore these fascinating topics. Cryovolcanoes. Cryovolcanoes, or ice volcanoes, are a type of volcano that erupts volatiles such as water, ammonia, or methane instead of molten rock. These volatiles can be in the form of liquid or gas, and upon eruption, they can form ice. Cryovolcanoes are found on icy moons and dwarf planets in our solar system, such as Saturn's moon Enceladus and Pluto. They provide clues about the subsurface oceans and the potential for life in these distant worlds. Endorheic drainage basins. Endorheic basins are closed drainage systems where water does not flow out to the sea. Instead, water collects in lakes or evaporates, leaving behind salts and minerals. These basins are often found in arid regions and can create unique landscapes, such as salt flats and playas. The Great Basin in the United States and the Caspian Sea are examples of endorheic basins. Salt and clay pans in the Namib Desert. One notable example of a salt and clay pan is Sossusvlei in the Namib-Naukluft National Park, Namibia. Sossusvlei is an endorheic basin for the ephemeral Tsautsib River. The area is characterized by high red dunes, some of the tallest in the world, which can reach heights of over 300 meters. When the Tsautsib River occasionally floods, it creates temporary marshes, but most of the time, the pans are dry and appear almost white due to the high salt concentration. Fun fact: the name Sossusvlei is derived from the Afrikaans word vlei, meaning marsh, and the Nama word sossus, meaning no return or dead end, reflecting its nature as a drainage basin without outflows. If you have more questions or Let's dive into these intriguing topics one by one. Horsehead Nebula Formation. The Horsehead Nebula formed from a collapsing interstellar cloud of gas and dust. This dark nebula is part of the larger Orion Molecular Cloud Complex and is illuminated by a nearby hot star. The iconic horsehead shape is due to thick clumps of material that are harder to erode, creating a striking silhouette against the glowing hydrogen gas behind it. Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall Formation. The Hercules Corona Borealis Great Wall is the largest known structure in the observable universe, spanning about 10 billion light-years. It is a galaxy filament formed from the gravitational clustering of galaxies and galaxy clusters over billions of years. This massive structure was identified through the mapping of gamma-ray bursts, which are concentrated in this region. Computer gods and chess clocks on clown space. Imagining computer gods living in chess clocks on a clown space is a whimsical and fantastical idea. These deities could control the flow of time and strategy in a cosmic chess game, adding an element of divine intervention to each move. The clown space could be a surreal, colorful realm where logic and chaos coexist, making every game unpredictable and entertaining. The Hat Man, Oppenheimer, and Ozymandias in the backrooms. The Hat Man is a common figure in sleep paralysis experiences, often described as a shadowy figure wearing a brimmed hat. Combining elements of Oppenheimer and Ozymandias, this character could symbolize the duality of creation and destruction, intelligence and hubris. In the eerie setting of the backrooms, he could represent the ultimate terror, haunting dreams with his enigmatic presence. Sleep paralysis demons who drink lava. Sleep paralysis demons are often described as terrifying entities that appear during episodes of sleep paralysis. Imagining them drinking lava adds a fantastical twist, suggesting they draw power from the Earth's molten core. These demons could symbolize the intense fear and helplessness felt during sleep paralysis, amplified by their fiery, otherworldly nature. Squid ink and biophysics. Squid ink is produced by specialized glands and is used as a defense mechanism. The ink contains melanin, enzymes, and other compounds that create a dark, cloud-like substance in water. Biophysically, the ink disrupts the predator's sense of smell and sight, allowing the squid to escape. The production and expulsion of ink involve complex muscular and neural coordination. Three-finger systems and right-hand rule in electrical grids. The three-finger system and the right-hand rule are fundamental in understanding electromagnetism. The right-hand rule helps determine the direction of magnetic fields and currents. In electrical grids, these principles are crucial for designing and operating systems that efficiently transmit electricity. Mismanagement, like in the Texas power grid failure, can lead to widespread outages and highlight the importance of robust infrastructure and planning. If you have more questions or want to explore another topic, let's explore these fascinating topics. Barbarous peccaries, boars, and pigs. Barbarous. This term seems to be a misspelling or a less common name. If you meant Babirusa, it's a wild pig native to Indonesia, known for its unique upward curving tusks. Peccaries. These are pig-like mammals found in the Americas. Unlike true pigs, peccaries have straight, interlocking tusks and are more social, often living in herds. Boars and pigs. Boars are wild pigs, while domestic pigs are their tamer relatives. Both belong to the family Suidae and are known for their intelligence and adaptability. Tapirs, fruit bats, anteaters, and tamanduas. Tapirs. These large herbivorous mammals are found in Central and South America and Southeast Asia. They have a distinctive prehensile snout used for grabbing foliage. Fruit bats, also known as flying foxes, these bats primarily feed on fruit and nectar. They play a crucial role in pollination and seed dispersal. Anteaters and tamanduas. Anteaters, including the giant anteater and the smaller tamanduas, are specialized for eating ants and termites. They have long snouts and tongues to extract their prey. Giant armadillos and giant alters eating piranhas. Giant armadillos. The largest of the armadillo species, they are found in South America and are known for their powerful claws used to dig for termites and ants. Giant alters eating piranhas. This seems to be a playful or fantastical concept. If you meant giant otters, they are indeed known to prey on piranhas in the Amazon River. Alan Dean Foster. Alan Dean Foster is a prolific American author known for his science fiction and fantasy works. He has written numerous original novels and novelizations of popular films, including Star Wars and Alien. Foster's travels have taken him to over 100 countries, and his experiences often inspire his writing. Buckminster Fuller and Buckyballs. Buckminster Fuller, an American architect, systems theorist, and inventor, Fuller is best known for popularizing the geodesic dome, a structure made of interconnected triangles that distribute stress evenly. Buckyballs, also known as Buckminster fullerenes, these are spherical molecules made entirely of carbon atoms arranged in a pattern of hexagons and pentagons, resembling a soccer ball. Giraffes, ossicones, and buckyballs. Ossicones, these are the horn-like structures on a giraffe's head. Imagining them as tiny golf balls made of buckyballs is a fun idea. Buckyballs are formed by arranging carbon atoms in a pattern of 20 hexagons and 12 pentagons, creating a stable, spherical structure. Creating a giant golf ball with triangles. To create a giant golf ball-like structure, you can use the principles of a geodesic dome. This involves dividing a sphere into a series of interconnected triangles, using smaller triangles to form larger, stable shapes, ensuring even distribution of stress across the structure, similar to how buckyballs are formed. If you have more questions or want to explore another topic, just let me know.